Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, we visit a rescue center dedicated to the preservation of America's wild horses, how the pandemic has affected this sanctuary. And after making it through the worst of 2020, see how volunteers from across the world are back to helping these horses thrive. And it's turtle time in our outdoor classroom segment. We get up close to an endangered species of water turtle. Plus, we introduce you to some very special canines here at Dante's Den. How your help and generosity have given these dogs a chance to live their lives out with dignity. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. Mustangs were introduced to the U.S. as domestic horses in the early 1500s, and eventually these horses formed a large, wild population, playing a vital role in the creation of America. As time went on, though, the need for these animals diminished. Today, it's estimated that wild horse population has decreased to about 40,000, and according to the Wild Horse Rescue Center, there's just as many in captivity in need of rescue. So we traveled to Webster, Florida to learn more about this sanctuary and how this sanctuary is providing a future for many of these horses, whether it's rehabilitation to get them adopted or allowing them to remain wild at heart.
Room service. Come on! Come on, babies! Come on! Come on, ponies! So some of these horses are in their 20s. Some of them are in their teens. We got a variety of horses out here. But most of what they are is post-traumatic stress disorder, sadly. In this group, we have some very, very tough horses in this group. There it goes. Come on, Chavez. Bring them in. Come on, babies. Honey from Humboldt. Winnie from Winnemucca. Hi, babies. Luna. We got Pinto, Honey, Winnie, Sage, Hozo, Katie, Bridgeline. Got a bunch of them in here.
Diane, it's so good to be back here with you again in this most idyllic place.
Well, Marcia, I can't thank you enough to come to see our new place. So I know you've seen our old place, but this is really what we needed out here in Webster.
But you know, it's interesting because those of us who live in Florida, I mean, we have palm trees everywhere. And we come out here. It's magical. It's just magical.
Well, this is a very old farming area. Webster was known for like watermelons, hay, cattle, stuff like that. So this has been generations of farming land. I have these grandfather oaks. They got to be 500 years old.
Well, it's wonderful. And you know, to pull up here and see the magnificence of the horses. They're just thriving here.
Well, I can say we have happy horses because they have grass and they have pasture and they have freedom, and that's exactly what they want.
And how many horses do you have in residency now?
We have about 60. This is a sulfur horse. They are a unique breed from Utah. The sulfur horses are from the Spanish that came in the 1400s. So this horse's DNA goes back to the Spanish horses that came to North America with the Spaniards. This is Opal. Opal is this is the one that I've denied 3 adopters this year. Opal is a very educated horse, but Opal, like us, she will never forget. She has forgiven, but she doesn't forget what's been done to her, and she will not allow it again. Shame on you for doing that to me. Shame on me to allow you to do it again. Some horses, if they've never been traumatized, they don't ever think that way. It's only the horses that have been traumatized. This is Destiny. She came from the kill pens in Texas, and I say kill pens because there's auction houses in North America, in Louisiana, Texas, and Alabama, Mississippi area, and those are like last stop pens. That means if you don't get adopted from here, there's buyers from Mexico buying from them because they're right there. We are going to do whatever we can to see if maybe she can be a companion horse. I don't know about a riding horse.
You really are, as far as I am concerned,
Well, thank you.
a pioneer in what it is that you have done for those wild horses.
Well, thank you. With the sanctuary, we actually have taken quite a few to sanctuary. 5 times to the Black Hills in South Dakota. That's 11,000 acres. So you can see true sanctuary is thousands of acres. Our sanctuary, I've actually had horses on 600 acres for the past 6 years. They're here now. But mostly what we try to do is rehabilitate and then adopt out. Because that way I can get more horses can come in and they can leave. If they all just come here and stay, I don't have enough land. So this is our tack from Western to Australian to English. We have our hay, we have grass hay, alfalfa hay, Timothy hay, orchard hay. We have a variety. So it's just like you don't want just a salad of iceberg lettuce, you want the whole thing. So that's what we do, we give a variety of hay. So when you come out here, this is an alleyway to run wild horses. So say like Hopi is wild still, I can run her to the round pen.
These are wild horses. We know this. And you bring them to an area that they can relax if they get it. They know that they're safe. They don't have to worry about anything that's going to happen to them. But how do you rehabilitate a wild horse?
Depending on where the horse came from, sometimes we get them from the Bureau of Land Management's Adopt a Horse program. We might bring some in. Now, working with truly wild are almost a little easier than working with wild that have come from other people. And that's where it can be tough because you can have post-traumatic stress disorder really tough in horses. If anybody has done something to them, and it doesn't mean they have to be mean to them intentionally, they just made them scared to death, afraid for their life. Those are hard horses to fix. So we bring them in, we always give them their own pen, and the reason for that, and the pens are side by side so they can see other horses, but to build a relationship with them, I need to let them become a little dependent on me. Because if I just put them with a group, they don't have to really interact with me. So we try to interact with them, we clean with them. Room service every day. So room service comes in and you want to interact with them.
I feel like they picked me, I don't know. They talk back, but not with words. And just the bond. I've always had a draw to animals and I just feel better when I work with them. And it's hard to explain, but just the connection, you just can't. It's hard to get with people because I feel like too many people want to prove themselves. They're not proving anything, but they'll work with you and they give back so much. And that's what, it's not all about work, and it is a lot of hard work, but they give it all right back to you.
You do such wonderful work here, and you're hands-on.
Yes.
Every horse that comes in, we know that you welcome that horse into the sanctuary, you get them into their stall, and then you start taking care of them. But it does take a staff.
It does.
And you have an interesting staff.
I do. I had, and I'm getting it back, international. I had people come from all over the world. I had 160 people a year coming through here. So you're talking about 12 to 13 people a week. Every week, 365 days. And I was doing that for 8 years. When COVID hit last year in March, I had 11 people here from Australia. I had them from Belgium, France, Italy, Germany, Sweden, Norway. They all left in a 3-week time. I had nobody back until last week.
I come here because I want to experience with horses and a little bit give for myself. Like, I think I work all the time and I want to give to animals back. And I want to learn about horses. I worked with dogs before, but I never worked with horses. And I think it's beautiful animals. I need to be respectful for her. So I try to learn. Of course, I want to ride them, but I want to learn everything. I want to learn how the animals feel, how you treat him, how to read the sign that the animals give, because I think it's the most important. You need to respect them very well.
Here I come and I feel quiet, I feel a good harmony, and the atmosphere is wonderful. And the best, I watch to the horses reflect me what's going on here, and the horse reflect real good. So this is a good place to be. I'm a horseman, I love horses, and horses give me the whole life, 40 years, so a lot. Now I want to give the horse back, and the horse they need is the most are the wild horses and the Mustang. To find a nice place, a good place, and I want to training the horses in a way they are safe enough to adopt.
Well, I think horses have such an important relationship to humanity, and throughout history I've been a student of history and fascinated by the role that the horse has played in a variety of things, exploration of the continent, warfare, sport, so a variety of things. I think horses have a practicality that I like that I think some of has been usurped by technology, and I don't think we should ever lose the connection to those older skills and practices. I think it's important to maintain, and they can just have a very calming, healing effect on people, I think is well established.
You go on faith, you go on the greater of good. Just do your part and open up to the universe and pray that what will come, and it does. You know, always do your best that you can do, and don't ever doubt. Negative energy is not a good thing. Positive. My glass is always half full. I'm Patty positive.
For more information on the Wild Horse Rescue Center, you can go to their website, wildhorserescuecenter.org. Coming up next on Animal Outtakes, an endangered species of turtle in our outdoor classroom segment. And a little later in the show, find out who I decided to bring home after falling in love at the Wild Horse Rescue Center. We'll be right back.
I need a vacation. Life is exhausting. I want to relax and enjoy some me time. Then Dante's Den is the perfect place for your vacay stay. Spacious air-conditioned dens, plenty of room to exercise and run, and a pool to swim in. Whether it be an overnight stay, short or long-term, Dante's Den is waiting for you. For more information, visit dantesden.org. Ah, my land shark in the water!
You love your dog, but is he hard to handle? Barking, biting, jumping, chewing, hard to walk? Is your dog aggressive? Have you tried everything and nothing worked? I'm Will Thomas. Dogs are my passion. I can help you with your dog. My methods are so unique, I only need one session in your home. To learn more, look at my website, willthomasdogwhisperer.com, or call me at 941-377-0243. I can help you fast.
Holding a very special turtle.
You are.
Very fashion forward because it's polka dots on top of polka dots.
I know, aren't they the prettiest little things?
I have never seen a turtle just so beautiful, really. So what are we truly looking at here?
Well, these are known as the Hamiltoni, which is also the Indian spotted turtle. So they're endemic to Northeast Asia. So you've got Bangladesh, Pakistan, a bunch of different places down there that you can find these, and they're endangered where they live.
Well, I can see why.
So they're an endangered species, and so there are very few of these I mean, I wouldn't say few, there's fewer than most animals in the country, and you can breed them, and you can actually have these little beauties as pets.
Can you?
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
how big would they get, though?
These, I would say, according to the ones I've seen that are adults, they get anywhere from 12, 13, 14 inches, in diameter. So that's about it for them. It's not like a giant tortoise or anything. These guys have great little memories. They come up and stuff like, you know, you took it in and out and you fed it, and they're aquatic, so they spend a lot of time in the water. Obviously not now. When we're done, we'll just throw them in the lake. We won't do that.
No, we won't.
We won't do that. They're too valuable. There's a cute little couple, and these are one of my favorite little water turtles on the planet. Now in Florida, there is a spotted turtle up north. There is a spotted turtle. Looks similar, but not the same, but it's a very beautiful animal. These guys are amazing. I love them. They are endangered, folks, so remember they're an endangered species in their native land.
Now, how can you tell if it's a male or a female?
Well, when they're little teeny tiny like this, you really can't unless you do blood work. But as they get older, there's the opening on the tail. The cloaca will be further down. The opening on this part here. Mm-hmm. There'll be a little bit difference of the plastron here, so that when the animals are reproducing, they're able to fit
like
properly.
That.
He
does not.
That tickled him and he jumped.
He does not like that because look at all of his
little legs kicking.
His little legs are kicking. He does not like that. But you know, he's just kind of been sitting here, and I have been turning him upside down and round.
Yeah. We take them out for all the little kiddos to play with, so they're used to it.
Yeah. So what do these eat?
But little turtle diet, and sometimes we supplement it with little crock chow, little pieces of meat, crickets, vegetation. They like a little romaine lettuce in their water sometimes to nibble on, so they're pretty omnivorous.
Now, you, I would imagine you just have this in a caged area or what have you, because I don't think you put out a bowl and have the meat.
So what I keep these guys in is I have this really cool thing called a lowboy, and they started making these aquariums that were really, really short. So we built a table, and it's like a big pond, and it's filtered, and they have land inside there, a little running water, so they live like in a natural ecosystem for themselves. And then we feed them in there. We put a little food up on the top, or we throw it in the water, and we refresh the water, you know, just like you would a fish tank.
And what is his life expectancy?
Oh, these guys can live up to 60 years according to the research I found on them. So I've never had one that long, but we'll see.
Well, I'm telling you, he's had enough of me because he is kicking like crazy.
Yeah, and see, it's kind of gentle. A lot of people are scared.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's
peeing.
He just
not on
peed
her.
on
He
me.
didn't pee. He was nice. He peed between.
That's why he was kicking. He was trying to tell me.
He was
hey,
saying, "I don't want to pee on you,
hey,
please."
Mom, hey, Mom, I really.
Did it get on your hand?
Yeah, well, yeah, he did.
Well, you're not a stranger to pee on your hand.
Yeah. Does he love me because I did?
That's right. He marked you.
So
from now on, he's going to sniff and go, "That's my owner. That's my person."
Yeah. Oh, you just remember that when I come back and see you.
Yep, they're really cool.
Stay with us. There's more animal outtakes coming up next. Dante's Den is many things. Our programs cover a wide range of services for dogs who for one reason or another can no longer live at home. It's a sanctuary for dogs who may never be able to go home. And it's also a place from military personnel and first responders to board their forever friends in time of need. It's an option for wellness for those in the community. And Dante's is a home for many dogs who were on the path to an early demise. Let us introduce you to a few of these beloved canines.
I entered this world very quietly. In fact, I soon realized that I didn't hear anything. My brothers would bark, my owners would talk, but I didn't know what they were saying. I soon realized that I was deaf. I didn't even hear my own bark. I watched people's faces to get clues as to what I should do, but it was confusing. People's facial expressions were all I was able to watch. I really tried very hard to understand what I could. My owner and my brother disappeared. Then I was put into this car by my owner and taken to this great place that had a swimming pool. When I was swimming in the pool, I became scared. But soon, there were a lot of smiling faces, a lot of talking, but I still couldn't hear. Then this kind man started not only to talk to me, but show me hand signals and teach me to do simple commands. I began to feel safe and understand what he wanted from me. Now I can sit, lay down, stay, and stand on 2 legs. I am blessed.
They told me I was in a special cage. I watched all my other friends go to this room at the end of the hall, but they never came out. The human kept shouting loud words like death row and euthanasia. I didn't understand it. I figured it wasn't too good. Then one day, this young girl came and took me away. She was very kind and loving and hugged me and made me feel special. After a few months, she told me she had to go away for a few years, but she found a wonderful, safe place for me to go. And she told me they would take care of all my many medical problems. I had heartworm, bad allergies, small tumors, and infected ears. She told me she would visit me, but she never came. I have been at Dante's Den for 3 years, and she hasn't come home for me. I miss her, but I do get a lot of attention from a lot of people. Someone told me that my mom was hurt and in the hospital. You see, she is a Marine recruit. I was told I don't know if I will ever see her again. But Dante's Den will take care of me forever.
My name is Moose, and I'm so happy to be at Dante's Den because they love me and take care of me. You see, my first owner had me for 3 years, and then I became sick. I was diagnosed with diabetes and required a lot of insulin. The insulin became very expensive, so expensive that my owner could not afford it, so he moved away and left me alone. I ran out of water and food. Someone called Animal Services, and I ended up with no insulin and put in a very small cage. I was adopted, and the new owner recognized I was sick and took me to a vet. Once again, they said I had raging diabetes and put me on insulin. I looked horrible because my weight went from 136 pounds to 88 pounds. I kept hearing people say I wasn't going to make it, but I wasn't ready to go. And that's when someone called Dante's Den, and they came and got me. A lot of people started loving on me, and it felt so good to be hugged. But it's been a long road. My diabetes caused other problems for me. My right eye is dead, and I end up in ketoacidosis often. But thankfully, each time Dante's medical staff pull me through. I feel so lucky. Dante's Den saved me, and despite my illness, I am living a good life.
My mom was the greatest. She played with me, took care of me, and told me how much I made her happy and that I was her pride and joy. And then one day, my mom couldn't get out of bed, and a lot of people started coming into the house to see her. I tried to be with her, but they kept me away from her. I didn't understand. My mom needed me, but I couldn't get close to her. Then a big noisy car with shiny lights came and took my mom away. I wanted to go with her, but I was locked up. I waited and waited for her to come home, but she never did. I never saw her again. More people came to the house, and I saw them moving things out. Then someone put a leash on me and took me out of the house. I never went back, but I was brought to a new place called Dante's Den. I was so very, very sad and I couldn't stop crying. In fact, I cried for weeks. Then this kind lady started bringing me to her desk and began hugging me and telling me how happy she was to have me by her side. She loved me just like my mom did. I'm older now, I can't see, and I have trouble walking, but Dante's Den will take care of me forever.
Animal Outtakes is produced by Dante's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org. Well, after spending a lot of time at the Wild Horse Rescue Center on our shoot, I just couldn't stop thinking about that miniature horse we had met. So I decided to adopt him. Meet Nico, and he's settling beautifully here in Mayaka. He's become buddies with Hee-Haw, our donkey, and his favorite treat is carrots. And I can tell you our staff just can't stay away. We'd like to thank Diane for her help in making this connection. There's just no better place to be a dog, and now a mini horse. We hope you had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. We'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, thanks for watching.
You have to edit it. I'm trying not to laugh. 1, 2, 3, and you're no stranger. I have to say it that way, though. You know, it's the same thing when we had the breeding tortoises that day right here. I think it's this spot. The energy here is fun.
And we do get dogs, too.
Well, and yeah.
Come here. He's going to want to play. Alicia, honey, Spot's going to have to go.